Welcome back. The work of fundraising can seem lonely work at times, filled with never-ending tasks. This podcast is not a podcast to add to your task list or to experiment with a new fundraising trend. Our field is the ancient field of generosity that spans all cultures. This podcast seeks that deeper wisdom of being a person in the beautiful space where generosity occurs. Each week, we take 5 minutes to reflect on a quote and 1 or 2 coaching questions to ground you for the week to come. And don't forget, subscribe to this weekly podcast in your favorite podcast app. One purpose of this podcast is to ground ourselves in the wisdom of ancient writers. So often, they speak to the same discoveries that we have recently discovered through neuroscience as it relates to asking, giving, and stewardship. So today, I'm reading 3 quotes from the Buddha. The quotes begin, "If you knew what I know about the power of giving, you would not let a single meal pass without sharing it in some way." He goes on, "Giving brings happiness to every state of its expression. We experience joy in forming the intention to be generous. We experience joy in the actual act of giving something, and we experience joy in the remembering the fact that we have given. Therefore," he states, "teach this triple truth to all. A generous heart, kind speech, and a life of service and compassion are the things which renew humanity." End quotes. Let me repeat that first statement. If you know what I know about the power of giving, you would not let a single meal pass without sharing the power of giving. What a shift in thinking. Instead of viewing asking as a task to accomplish, instead, as nonprofits, we have so much insight into the power of giving that we can share from a place of joy and generosity the opportunity for the donor to join in the power of giving. A shift from asking to an opportunity. There is a second shift in thinking in this quote. As you are likely aware, stewardship, the practice of thanking donors, engaging them in the mission, and sharing the impact of their gifts, is too often placed on the back burner of our work, so that we can focus on the urgent crisis of our programs. Yet, when we practice stewardship, we are creating space for the donor to experience joy in remembering the fact that they gave. And this creates a space to teach greater generosity, kindness, and even a life of service and compassion for the donor. As more people join, it expands the power of giving and serving in our communities. Let's reflect on 2 questions this week. If you have a task of asking a donor for a gift this week, what is your mindset going into the ask? A necessary task, or a joyous opportunity for the donor to join in the power of giving? If you have a task of stewarding a donor this week, what is your mindset? Is it something we need to get off of our to-do list? Or do you see it as a task, as planting a seed filled with joy for the donor to consider a life of service and compassion? To explore fundraising coaching, visit servingnonprofits.com. I will see you next week.